What's going on, YouTube? It's Ben from AccrueMe coming back to you again today with another 5-minute video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to finance the startup and the launch of your Amazon business. So the idea for this video came out of a post that we recently did of a review of one of our portfolio companies that we're invested in, and somebody commented under it saying they need help funding the startup and launch of their business and not their business once it's already successful and making money. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to fund the launch and startup of your Amazon business. So before we get started, for those of you that don't know, my name is Ben and I'm one of the co-founders of AccrueMe. AccrueMe is the leading business-friendly funding solution for Amazon sellers like you. So when it comes to Amazon business financing, there are really two different categories. There are the popular, well-known funding sources that invest in Amazon sellers that are successful in selling, like what AccrueMe does. And then there is the financing that people need to just start selling on Amazon. Maybe they're looking to make some extra money, and because they don't have a lot of money to invest in starting an Amazon business, and they need capital to just get started. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, the reason that most Amazon funding sources only fund Amazon sellers who have a successful track record and have real assets in their business is because it's less risky, right? If you're funding someone who's just starting a new business, who just has an idea, most likely doesn't have any experience in e-commerce or selling on Amazon, doesn't have any kind of track record doing that, and basically says, I need money to start. Maybe they say I need a couple thousand to buy a course and buy some inventory, or maybe they're saying I need 30,000 to buy an Amazon automation package, or somewhere in between. Getting the money for that is going to be a lot harder, and at the end of the day, it's really going to come down to you and your personal credit and your personal relationships. And that's because you don't have any track record, you don't have any business assets, and you can't get an investment against a business that doesn't exist or was just started yesterday and is basically just an idea. That's very hard to do, and basically what it comes down to is you're going to be raising money based on your personal credit, your personal relationships, and your personal track record. So the first and most obvious way that people get money for starting an Amazon business is going to be with personal credit cards. So I know that that's a very risky and taboo type of subject, and it is risky because you're taking and borrowing money that you don't have in your personal name, and you are personally liable for paying that money back. So that's a very common way that people that don't have a lot of money get the money to start their Amazon business. I'll put some helpful resources down in the description if that's something that you're looking for help with. But the big caveat with using credit cards to fund the launch of your Amazon business is make sure you are very confident in what you are doing. So make sure if you're buying a training course, that it's a training course that has a lot of good reviews, or maybe that was recommended by someone that you know personally, that you know is going to be something good that's going to teach you what you need to know to start making money. Make sure you pick a strategy that's a good strategy for you to quickly make enough money to pay off your credit card balance so you're not paying crazy high interest. And then also I'd say make sure you know what you're doing with your business, right? A lot of people watch a few YouTube videos and think I'm going to go start a successful Amazon business, and it really doesn't work that way. A lot of times those are the people that lose money. So I'd also highly recommend, if you're using your personal credit to launch your Amazon business, to make sure you're getting some training and you're working with some sort of group that really knows what they're doing so that they can shepherd you through that process, make it as quick as possible for you, and also help you minimize mistakes. So that's the first way that people fund the startup and launch of their Amazon business when they don't have any savings or any of their own money to invest. Now, the second way is just going to be borrowing money from family and friends. And here you're not so much relying on your personal credit, you're really relying on your personal relationships and reputation with these people. It's pretty common for people to borrow money from family and friends to start their Amazon business. But when you do that, you should let the family and friends know that this is a risky endeavor. A lot of people try to start selling on Amazon and they don't succeed and they lose all of their money. So now you're not playing with your money to lose, you're playing with your family or friends' money. And if you lose that money, it's going to be a very uncomfortable Thanksgiving and Christmas and holiday season for you when that person's asking you constantly where their money is or what's happening with your Amazon business. So you're putting your personal reputation on the line for that funding method, and there's obviously a big risk in that. So that's a decision that you would have to make. Now I'm going to also touch on another popular topic that's talked about as a way to fund your Amazon business, but is very difficult to do in reality, and that's going to be crowdfunding or personal loans online. So you can basically talk about how you want to start your Amazon business and put a little investment plan together and go to a crowd sourcing platform and basically ask a bunch of people to invest in your Amazon business. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a track record of successfully selling on Amazon, some platforms are basically going to say, okay, we'll give you money, but we're going to underwrite you personally based on your personal credit and personal assets. And some funding platforms say, okay, you can put your business on our website, but the reality is nobody's going to invest in you if you don't have a track record and you basically just have an idea. It's usually going to end up costing you a lot of money then to even just get that idea out there. And if people like it, maybe you'll raise a little bit of money, but that's a whole process inside of itself that is going to be very time and capital intensive just to learn and figure out how to raise money on one of these platforms to use it to start your Amazon business. So that's really it. The ways to fund your startup of your Amazon business, if you have $0 or if you don't have a lot of money personally to start it, are risky, and they basically rely on your personal credit, personal reputation, and things that are probably very important to you. So are thinking about starting an Amazon business and using somebody else's money to do it, it's going to be high risk to you personally. And that's simply because as an investor, people don't like to invest in just ideas without any type of collateral or chance of getting their money back. That's why at AccrueMe and a lot of other funding sources, we fund Amazon businesses once they get to a stage where they have a little bit of a track record, show that they know what they're doing on Amazon and that they can make money, and that's when you can start to get more professional investors involved in your business. But to start, those are really your options. You're going to have to do it all based on your personal reputation, relationships, and credit. Hopefully you can get a little bit of money to start, and my big word of advice is if you are going that route and you don't have any of your own money to start and you need to raise money from either your personal credit or your personal relationships, is to make sure that you know what you're doing before you take the money. So make sure you're going to be working with some sort of training program or following some sort of system so that you know when you borrow that money, you have the highest chance of knowing what you're doing on Amazon and being able to pay that money back. If you can't pay that money back, obviously it's going to be very uncomfortable for you, and you want to make sure that before you borrow it, you know what you're doing. So make sure that you have a plan to pay it back. I'd suggest some sort of training or coaching type of program where they can walk you through the system and help you avoid a lot of the common pitfalls that Amazon sellers experience. And then I would also suggest going with a model that fits the amount of capital you have and the amount of capital that you are willing to lose. So for example, starting on private label might cost you $10,000 to $100,000 to launch a private label product, whereas wholesale and retail arbitrage, you can get started with a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s. So I would suggest if you don't have a lot of money to lose and you don't have any of your own money to lose, start there, work your way up to private label, etc. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, hit the like button, let me know you liked it, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe down below and turn on notifications to get notified every time I post a new video. Trying to post a new video about once a week. If you have any questions at all about what we just talked about or anything else related to Amazon, e-commerce, finance, just drop a question down below in the comment section and I will personally respond to every single one. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next video.